Matt. Really good to see you. Today, we are talking about the new retirement account contribution limits for 2023. The IRS recently announced that it will boost the max contribution limits to 401ks by $2,000 to 22.5. That's the largest increase on record. So, what's behind this significant jump?
Aaron, is tied to the CPI. So it's
Mm,
basically tied to inflation. And that's why we're able to contribute more this year into our IRAs and 401ks. So
mhm.
December ended at 6.5. September was around 8.7 or so. So the good news to that is we can put more away for retirement.
That is great news. Okay, so as I ask you this next question, take a look at the average balance of 401ks broken down by generation. Matt, this does give me anxiety, though, to look at some of these low account balances. But as we look at this, how important is it that we be maxing out those contributions?
Aaron, 69% of all millionaires became millionaires primarily because of their 401k. So I cannot stress enough how important it is, first of all, to take the free money. So if your employer is going to match it 3%, put in that 3%.
Mm,
But for a 401k, the contribution limits are so high when you factor in what you can put in at what is it, 22.5, and what your employer can put in. Especially if you have the Roth bucket, I really encourage people to max it out as much as possible.
mhm. As my dad would always tell me, don't leave free money on the table, right?
Yeah, exactly. And I will point out on that the screen before this, 16% that people are putting away. That's the average. So that average got you about 207,000. We like people to be above average.
I like to be above average too. Good point.
Mhm.
So as we talk about those increase in the limits, I want to pull up a table so people can take a look at those new numbers. The IRA said to increase to 6,500 from 6,000. That's actually a limit that hasn't changed since 2019. Is there anything else that stands out to you here?
I like the 401k, 403b contribution limit. If you're over
Mhm.
50, it increases by $6,000. So if you're a few years from retirement and maybe you haven't started the Roth, boy, now's the time to consider it.
Right. Okay. So something else, the IRS is raising the income threshold for which tax deductions for IRA contributions will be phased out, which brings up one of your most favorite subjects, tax planning, because most of us do contribute to those 401ks, but they're also known as retirement tax bombs. So why should I consider paying my taxes now?
Good question. So if you were to come in my office today and we were to basically find out where you're at, I have an Excel spreadsheet we use. It's color coded based on taxes. The first bucket is orange, and that just means you haven't paid taxes yet. Second bucket is red, and that's like your banking money where you pay taxes every year on your gains. And then the third bucket is the green bucket, and that means you paid taxes a long time ago, but you're never paying taxes again on the growth. That's the Roth IRA. What I always tell people, and what we always see visually is, boy, that orange bucket is or yellow bucket is beautiful. It's a great bucket. You love it. But you have to keep in mind that $1 million has never been taxed. So at best, that $1 million would be around $780,000 if you're at a 22% tax bracket. If you're in a state where there's also income tax, I mean, at 10%, I mean, you could potentially be looking at 680,000 out of a million. So
Oh,
it's
that would be
important
so
now.
painful. Yeah. No, we have to keep in mind that Uncle Sam is always coming for his share.
Exactly, exactly.
So, what I'm hearing you say though is this the kind of proactive strategic tax planning is really important to have those conversations earlier rather than later. If somebody would like to talk to you about, their retirement accounts or opening a Roth or a Roth conversion, what's the best way to reach you?
The best way to reach me is by phone, 425-256-3105, or by email, Matthew Burklund not Hotmail, Matthew Burklund at choosevault.com. M.
That
Burklund
hasn't
at
been around since the
choosevault.com. There we
90s,
go.
my friend.
It's on the screen. There we go.
All right, Matt, thank you very much.
Okay. Thanks, Aaron.